Hello and welcome to Mind Your Business Monday. I am Travis.
And I'm Arletha.
Mind Your Business Monday is brought to you by On Point Alliance. We provide identity related solutions through a diversified scope of services, with fingerprinting and background screening being our primary services. To learn more about our services, scan the barcode at the top of the screen, or click the link in our bio description.
So, Mind Your Business Monday is designed to be a compass for business owners to help them grow. So, we'll be talking about different subject matters, different strategies, bringing on other subject matter experts to share tips and strategies on how to successfully scale your business, operate your business, just all things business. So, if you like how that sounds, again, do not forget to connect with us on all of our social media platforms by following, liking, sharing, and subscribing. You can scan the barcode or click our link in the bio.
All right, guys. Guess what I'm doing right now? I am sharing our post. And that's what we're going to ask you guys to do. We're going to ask you guys to like, subscribe, and share so that everybody know that we are on for tonight. All right. We got some good things we're going to talk about tonight. Tonight, we're going to talk about tips and advice on navigating the fingerprinting process. Now, we talk about On Point Alliance, but we haven't really went into depth about what we do. We mentioned fingerprinting or whatever, but tonight we're going to go into it a little bit more, talk a little bit more in depth on what all we do.
And we get so many people call us asking questions. You can tell the employer just sent them, didn't tell them really what to do, told them, oh, get fingerprinted, go get fingerprinted, find the nearest place closer to your house. And then they call us and say, I need a fingerprint and a background check.
That's what it is.
Well, a fingerprint is a background check. The difference is how they're processed. So tonight we're going to talk about different types of fingerprinting options. We're going to talk about why it's so frustrating to get fingerprints done, because I know in St. Louis, there's only a few places you can go. And depending on what type of fingerprints you need, you're not going to find anywhere close. You got to drive all the way out in the county to get it done. Right. So we're also going to be talking about opportunities that for you, an extra stream of income, because I know for a fact a lot of states, specifically St. Louis, there's a need for the service. Mm-hmm. And it's one of those subjects you really don't think about. How do you get into it? How you start it? Yeah, you can Google some information, but unless you boots to the ground, you really won't fully understand how the process works. And so we actually offer fingerprinting courses to help people start fingerprinting businesses. So we're going to talk about that tonight. And we're just going to answer some questions that we get a lot. Like today, we got hit with a lot of questions. And I'm like, we need to go ahead and talk about this and just share our thoughts and processes on it.
And our knowledge.
We
know a little bit of something.
A little something, just a little bit.
All right. So what you want to do? This one first?
What? Okay. We can. So all of this is to help your appointment be more sufficient and successful. I want y'all to do something for us. Think about the last time you had to get fingerprinted. First of all, if you've ever had to get fingerprinted other than going to jail, let us know in the comments. Put a little hand sign. Put the little hand up. If you've been fingerprinted other than going to jail. I don't care, for a job, for a gun suppressor, or maybe you had to do something for court purposes. If you've ever had to get fingerprinted, think about your experience. I'm going to tell you, it was one of two things. One, it was so bad that you'll never forget it, or it was so blah that you can't remember it.
Well, that's the truth.
Yeah, so y'all heard us bragging about our 5-star Google, our 600 5-star Google reviews. Yeah, we our clients, that's not their experience. The people that get upset with us is because of our policies, and because, as we talked several times about accountability, and our policies hold us accountable as well as our clients.
Right.
But for the most part, that's not their experience when it comes to us. So one of the questions is, what's the difference between an ink card and a live scan? What's the difference between an ink card and a live scan? What did Mello say?
He was just saying saying hi. I spoke back to him.
But he answered our question. I asked. He answered the question that one. Yeah.
Oh, he just remembered.
For nursing school.
That's in most nursing jobs.
Yeah,
that's a large part of our clientele.
Nursing jobs, trucking companies, insurance brokers, real estate agents, people who are traveling internationally, doctors, dentists. Who else we see? We see a little bit of everybody. People who need name changes, gun suppressors, gun trust. What's a few others? Any reason that you got to get fingerprinted, we're approved to do federal, state, as well as international. The difference is how they're processed. Okay, so there's two types of fingerprints you can get done. One is where they take the, give me that. Is the thing behind there isn't an ink pad, right? And everything. One is where they put ink on your finger. They use an ink pad, and they'll put ink on your finger, roll it on a card, and then they give you the card. And put ink on your finger, roll it on a card, and then they give you the card.
That's okay. I'm getting together.
He broke my concentration. Always doing something.
I'm doing my job. And
you should have done it already.
I ain't out my sidekick not on here tonight. So I gotta do it by myself.
You supposed to do that
I'm on here doing my job.
No, you gonna do your job while I'm in the middle of me doing my job.
I gotta do both. I'm the producer.
You should have did it early.
I gotta do it while
preparation. Did we talk about preparation? Anyway, we just had a moment, y'all. Okay, so ink card. So you get ink on your finger and you leave the office with the ink card. So in a lot of states, it's like I said, few places you can go right now. You may have to go to the police department. Well, I know here where we live, not a lot of police officers departments are doing it. They're directing people to us. So there's a lot of companies that do fingerprints, but they only do electronic. They're leaving money on the table by not doing the ink cards. Right. Okay, ink cards are when so let's say you need fingerprints in California, but you're physically in Texas or St. Louis. The only way you can do the electronic is if you're physically there, or they have an approved vendor that they allow the fingerprint on behalf of them, which California and St. Louis are not open states. Okay, Florida is, which we're approved to fingerprint on behalf of Florida. So you have to get these cards and mail them to whomever is requiring you to get fingerprinted, or you may have to get the fingerprints cards done and give them to your employer. Another reason you would have to do ink cards is if you're not a U.S. citizen or resident. You're not, in that instance, you're not allowed to do the live scan. The Compact Council from the FBI, they make the rules. So in that instance, you have to do the ink cards if you're not a U.S. citizen or resident. Okay. Now, it's important that you go somewhere where they know what they're doing. It is nationally, the statistic is 60% of all fingerprints that submitted are rejected.
That's a huge number.
That's a big number. Okay. And that's because sometimes it's the condition of the person's hands. Their ridges are low, maybe their lifestyle, like their job, if they're in construction, you cook a lot, you type a lot, age, ethnicity can affect your ridges. Like there are certain ethnicities, their ridges are just super low.
Certain type of diseases as well.
Certain skin diseases can cause your ridges. So people say, well, they got my fingerprints already. Why are they making me do this again? Well, in most instances, after 30 days, they consider those prints not valid. But we all know you do something, they're going to find you. However, trying to get a job or take care of some business, they want you to do it all over again, right? And tonight we're going to talk about some options, that a little workaround for that, but that's the regular process, that every 30 to 60 days. Now, some agencies, they don't care. So whatever date is on that ink card, that's the date they, determine if they're valid. So those are a few reasons you have to get the ink card. And that's that white card with the, and I'm sorry, I don't even have any here. It's like a card with a bunch of blue boxes on it. And so that's an ink card. Travis, you want to talk about the difference? So I just said what ink card is. You want to tell what live scan is?
So basically, live scan is where you capture, and a lot of people get confused at this point. Live scan is where you capture the prints on a digital machine. Okay. Where people get confused with the whole ink card is because where you normally get the traditional, as Olita showed, the traditional ink on your finger and roll, like the police department still do and used to do in some instances. Whereas you get the digital prints, those prints that are taken or captured on that machine can be printed out through the printer, which is still considered ink. It's just not every agency accepts those, but it's still considered ink because you capture those prints on the digital machine, the live scan machine, and then you print it out through a approved printer, and it prints those out on the same FD258 ink cards.
Now let me add something to what Trevor just said. So he was going to talk about the difference between ink card and live scan. He started to explain there is a way to get an ink card done on a live scan machine, and we could talk more about that later. I just wanted us to go into the basics of just the difference. One is on a device and transmitted to the FBI to be processed. The other one is an ink on your finger on a card, and you walk out the office with a set of prints. So say, well, why can't I just pick one? Which one do I select? Well, it all depends on the agency, because some agencies, they process them in-house, right? They have somebody to process them. So they don't mind getting that ink card and turn it into them, and then they can send it off to the FBI or whatever their process is. Is some employers, they want the report, because those fingerprints not going to do them any good, because they have no way to process them. They don't want to send them to the FBI. So they want you to do the electronic, where they're transmitted to the FBI, and then a report is printed out to say what's on your record. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's pretty much the difference between an ink card and a live scan. Okay, and so what Travis was referring to is the scanned ink cards. Okay, that's considered a live scan. So people can say, I need a live scan. How much y'all charge?
Which one?
You got Florida Live Scan. You have ATF live scan. If the ink card is a live scan, anything that's done on that device is considered a live scan. It's just a matter of, is it a FINRA live scan? So it's so many different types. So it's just a matter of, you have to ask your agency. When I'm referring to agency, whoever is telling you got to get this done. If it's an embassy, you need to ask them specifically what type of fingerprints you want me to turn in. If it's an employer, if it's a courthouse, ask them what type of fingerprints. And then if they say live scan, there should be ask them if there's a code, because live scan is either going to be federal level or state level. Right? So federal level is pretty much fair game. But when it comes down to state is governed. Okay, so you cannot, so let's say you need a live scan for Texas or a live scan for Missouri. You can't just go anywhere, because that code, like when you're bus drivers, I know for a fact, bus drivers, you get the job and they tell you, okay, go get fingerprinted. They give you a code. You take that code to the fingerprinting place. You have to go to a specific place, because that code is like a key. It gives that fingerprinting technician access to submit them on your behalf, to send them to the state, and that number just identify who is supposed to have who sent the applicant there, right? So you can't just pick anywhere or just pick any type of fingerprint, because a delay could cost you 4 to 8 weeks
Exactly.
delay on getting hired, or for whatever the purpose you there to get the fingerprints done. So live scan, always asking them, because we see a lot of agencies, I'm talking Fortune 500 companies, send people to get fingerprint and they don't really tell them what to do, and then they're confused. And then, like I did, we got a guy now, he came and bought one type of fingerprint and got a multi-million-dollar deal on the table.
Right.
His assistant scheduled the wrong thing.
Get me started.
Right. Yep. We're gonna stay focused. His assistant scheduled the wrong thing, and now he got to come back to get a totally different type of service, because she didn't. All she said was live scan, and then of course she was upset because it was the wrong thing, and they got to pay again. Well, that's because there's processing fees involved. Our time was blocked off, so it's really important to understand what type of fingerprints you need, because should no fingerprint technician be telling you what type of fingerprints to get. So when you call them, if they even answer the phone, because we one of the few places that actually answer the phone, and you say, I need fingerprints for ABC license, do y'all do that? Or I need it for hazmat, or I need it for this reason. Should no technician be telling you, yeah, we do it for that reason? Our response is, we do it for any reason, any state, including international. It all depends on what your requesting agency is requiring. Because you can have 3 people standing in front of you for the same reason, different agencies, and all their scenarios are different, and they're requiring them to do something different, right? So you need to make sure when you're getting your welcome packet, hey Lisa, when you're getting your welcome packet for your new job, read it, y'all. Slow down, because sometimes they do tell y'all, and when we have you send those instructions to us, we'll say text those instructions to us, because more than likely we'll interpret them different than what you're reading.
Right.
The second paragraph or the second sentence, it says where you're supposed to go, who have access to this code, because they're in contract with your agency. So you can't just pick a place. And your fingerprinting company, even if you went to the police department, should nobody be telling you what type of fingerprints to get, and then you fool around and get the wrong thing. That's a liability on us.
And except your agency is the only place that should be telling you what type of prints to get, because they know how those prints are going to be processed.
Right. So that's the difference between a live scan and an ink card. Now, let's talk about different live scans. So like I said, you got Florida, where
before you go into that, we're good. Okay. Thank you. I thank you, Lisa, for sharing. The rest of you guys, if you guys can do us a favor and like, share, and subscribe, we appreciate the share. You guys did really good last week with the shares.
Yeah, I did.
We greatly appreciate that. So don't forget to do it. It would help if you let us know that you shared it after you've done it.
Yes. So you got federal level live scan, state level live scan, and then you have Florida, which is a state, but they're different. Florida is a little different than most states. So they're considered an open state. Okay, so it's federal or state. Those are the two. Okay, because Florida fall into state. So with federal, that's when your agency will tell you, go get an FBI check. Well, still, an ink card is an FBI check. So it's a terminology. You have to say live scan. You can't just say, I need an FBI check. And if they allow you to do either or, they need to tell you, and your paperwork will say you can either do an ink card or a live scan, or sometimes it's flat out 2 FD258 ink cards is what they say. FD258 ink cards. And they'll tell you use black ink and blah, 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 and some specific instructions on there. Those instructions matter. Okay. So it just, again, ask your employer, not the fingerprinting company, because they should not be telling you what to do. Okay. On to make sure your appointment goes smoothly, please have proper identification.
Yes.
Your ID cannot be expired. It has to be a government issued, a U.S. government issued photo ID.
That's that point. U.S. United
Okay.
States.
If it's a foreign passport or ID, it has to be accompanied with supporting documents.
U.S.
government issued documents. Okay. So quit getting upset with fingerprint technician when they can't accept your Mexico passport. Okay. Now we can take Canada because I believe that's still considered some type of way.
How they got it hooked up there.
Yeah.
That's one.
But we can now, we can, so on the FBI website, you can go and on our website, onpointalliance.com, if you go to our appointment policy, it has all of the secondary forms of identification. So if you don't have a primary form of identification, there are some alternatives, but it has to be on the FBI's approved list. We don't make that list up.
No, we don't.
Okay.
Just follow
it even tell what specific supporting documents, foreign documents you can have. Okay. Like a inmate prison ID. You can actually use that. Because it's issued by the state, right? So yeah, it's important to just do your research before you go. Don't show up and hope that somebody will take this expired ID. Okay, so proper documentation. Also, nurses. Most of the time, you guys have something called the identity verification form.
Right.
Now, let me tell you about this form. You have to have the fingerprint technician complete that at the same time as you're getting fingerprinted. So when y'all leave that at home and just come get fingerprinted and then you leave, and they won't accept your fingerprints. You have to have that identity verification form completed at the same time, because basically what it is you're sending those prints to another state. So they want the technician to verify you are the person that we fingerprinted.
They show this particular identification.
Yeah, we have to answer some questions. We have to put our information on this document and then put it couples with your ink card. Okay, so when you do them separate and you mail it out, you got to start all over again.
And see, the thing with that is where that can cause problems, you not having it, is that, okay, let's say you go, and we've had this happen. I had a lady drove 3 hours to come get fingerprints, left her identity verification paper at home. She had to come back that same week. She had to drive 3 hours. Again, it's a total of 12 hours driving. She had to drive back to get that paper filled out. But here's the thing. So technically, when you schedule a new appointment, because you have to schedule an appointment for that to be done, depending on where you go and depending on the company's availability, you may have to wind up paying for a new set of prints to be done on that day, because it may not be as simple as, okay, we'll just bring that form in. Now, we've done it before where we have people come in or whatever.
If it's within the window of time.
Within the window of time, and this is like days, okay? Days. I'm talking maybe 2 days, okay? They can come in and we have time to come out and sign that paper. But for the most part, it's supposed to be done on the day that you get those fingerprints done. So always remember that anytime we get nurses on the phone, one of the first questions we'll ask them after we tell them about, figure out what service they want, is we ask them, do you have an identity verification form? I've had many nurses say, no, all I got is a card, and then show up with the identity verification form. So it's real easy to just say no, but that form is so important, because if you don't have it with those fingerprints, it'll stay in there. They won't receive those fingerprints. They don't believe, they don't have any way to prove that it's yours.
And listen, y'all, most of the time you're coming is for some business reason. You're not just getting fingerprints for fun. Reading is fundamental. Please read. This is not the errand or task or thing on your checklist that you want to just zip through, schedule it so you can hurry up and get it over with. And then when you select the wrong thing, because we're not permitted to schedule your appointment for you, and you schedule the wrong thing, and then you get upset because you got to pay again to set a new appointment. It's not that we just want your money. You blocked off that time that we can't resell. We're a small business, and everything that we do is service based. So if this is the window of time, and on our scheduling process, we have over 6 different places to make sure you understand what you're getting, to make you stop and pause to think about, am I sure?
Right.
Okay. So no, just try to be a little considerate and fair to whatever fingerprinting company you go to, that depending on their scheduling process, more than likely they're not going to tell you which fingerprint to get, because we deal with thousands of agencies. It's impossible for us to know and remember who requires what. Again, you have 3 people there at the same time for the same thing, for the same purpose, but got to do 3 different types of fingerprints for it.
Right.
Okay. So that's why it's not a blanket answer to which one to pick. Your agency needs to tell you. Like, for example, Florida has something called a ORI code, originating requesting agency identifier. So that way, when we send those prints to Florida, they know which hospital is requesting these or which company is requesting these, and we cannot transmit your fingerprints without that code. Okay.
This is true.
And if you have any issues or any questions, you got to contact them, because all we do is we capture the prints and send them off. That's it. Okay. So yeah, so it's really important to slow down, especially on something like this, and take your time, read the instructions, contact your local fingerprinting company, ask questions before you schedule to make sure it's the right thing, so you don't get tangled up in on delays, or with somebody who the technician don't know what the answer is because they're not trained to do so, and just let you do, you just schedule. They don't ask any questions. See, we ask probing questions just to make sure we're on the same page. Because if I can prevent a situation, that's what I want to do.
Right.
Okay.
So we almost at our 30-minute mark. Now we're going to go in a little bit into how you can make money.
Boom, boom, boom.
Doing fingerprints. Now, let me say something. Years ago, there was one place we could go get fingerprints done back in St. Louis. And we did not like going there. Okay. And we didn't like going there, number one, because the customer service just,
they don't even look at you, eye contact, nothing.
Don't say, don't speak, don't do nothing. But I remember one time Arletha said, we walked out there, she said, man, it got to be a better way to do this. Like, I could probably do this. And I remember her saying this. This was well over 10 years ago. I can do this or whatever. Wouldn't touch it until years later, of course, to look into it. I will say that the fingerprinting business is a very lucrative industry, guys. It is a very lucrative industry. Okay. And there are many places where people are traveling very far to get those fingerprints done. It is something that it's almost like the DMV.
Yes.
It's like people need that service. So many people need that service, but they don't think about it until you actually need it. Okay.
Because if y'all think about right now, where you gonna get fingerprinted at?
Somebody tell us that. The last time you went to go get fingerprinted, where did you go?
Yep. And how was it?
Tell us where did you go? And how was your experience, if you can remember?
And just don't take our word for it. Google on your phone right now. I don't care what state you are in. Fingerprints near me. This is how high commodity and demand this service is.
It really is.
No matter what state you're listening to us from, Google fingerprints near me. and see how many places come up. And out of the places that come up, just type fingerprint card. Not that many places gonna do it.
Right. Many of your agencies will tell you, go to your local police department or local sheriff's department.
He said he went to a dingy location. Mm-hmm.
All right, now believe it or not, guys, this is what we're used to hearing. We're used to hearing situations just like this, where people go to these places, and like I said, you don't do it often. Not necessarily that they want to go to these places, but that is what's available for them, or it's the closest place for them to go. So a lot of times when people do, so with our experience, when people actually come to us, they are always taken aback because they're like, this is a totally different experience than what I'm used to having when I go get fingerprints done. So, excuse me. The reason I say that is this. It's all about how you, even though it's a service that everybody needs, that a lot of people need, it's still going to be based on how you market your business.
Yep. And
how you promote yourself. You can go on YouTube right now and you'll see all up and down YouTube where if you type in our fingerprints, you'll see people saying make $10,000 a month, $10,000 a month. You can make $10,000 a month in fingerprint. I used to be like, why do they say that? Why do they say you can make $10,000 a month? There's more work to it. But to be totally honest with you guys, it is very possible to make 10 grand a month doing fingerprints.
It is.
I had to get into it. I had to get into it.
Yeah.
Before I understood the reason why they use that catch about, make $10,000 a month. Because if you're not, you can with very little marketing, just being out there and doing what it is that you do, you can get close to, I can say you can get close to 10 grand a month without a lot of marketing. Let's see. I can't see our mail's comments unless you pin it up.
I don't know what's going on with y'all internet. I don't know.
What I'm thinking, okay,
maybe
I'm thinking it depends on
where
the comments are being, like, if I share from my page, I'm thinking,
is he on Point Alliance page or my personal page?
Because Brandy, your comments are coming up on my personal Facebook page and it's coming up on Point Alliance. Not real sure.
So I'm thinking, so maybe he can go to my personal page. Now my business page, she's on your page. I'm on Point Alliance page and they don't sync. Oh, okay. So I gotta go and check that setting. Thanks for pointing that out. I'll go check it out. I'll probably, because everything was on privacy. Not being a business owner, I'm like very private. So I have everything on lock, and then I had to open things up. So I probably didn't catch that. So I'll go in and make sure for next week that the comments are open on Point Alliance page. Thanks for going over there for activity.
Yes.
Over there. And I saw somebody on
that ain't clear though, so that's why I didn't even comment on it.
Okay.
I don't know who it is, and it's not. Yeah, and that's only through YouTube, so we're the only ones that will be able to see that one.
Okay. So, but what we were saying?
I was talking about, so as I was talking about how with very little marketing, just being in the field, being in that industry, it's you can roughly, and like I said, it's going to depend on the area that you're in. I would say that too. But we're in a very
high traffic.
Yeah, we're in a very high traffic,
convenient location.
Exactly. So even with us being there, very little anything, it just you can doing nothing, bare minimum, just being out there, you can probably hit somewhere around $5 grand a month. So that's just think about it. If you can do bare minimum and hit an extra $5 grand a month, that ain't taking up all of your time.
That's like part-time.
Right.
But that's not counting if you offer mobile services. Mm-hmm. So in my fingerprinting course, we offer fingerprinting boot camps. So we actually have a course that it doesn't matter if you start a fingerprint from a company from scratch, if you currently have a fingerprinting business but haven't figured out how to scale it, because it is not just cut and dry. Oh, I got a fingerprint company and I'm booming, because there is a process to this thing. Without any guidance, it can go very slow, like watching paint dry. Okay. But with a proven system, we offer templates. We're very hands-on, and we're a learning center. So we can teach you how to become a fingerprint technician. If you already have a fingerprinting company, we can help you scale your current fingerprinting business. There's so many opportunities that you can take advantage of and scale your business. Or check this out. What if you like, nah, I don't want a fingerprint company, but I spend a lot of money on my truck drivers getting them fingerprinted,
right,
or my real estate agents, because I'm a broker or whatever. I got agents under me, or I'm a telecommunications company and I hire 50 people a month and I got to keep sending them to get fingerprinted. Or I have a financial service business that my clients require my employees to be fingerprinted, right? I can train and certify someone in-house. That way, someone on your team is certified to provide a service, so you'll never have to spend money, time, or resources sending them out to get fingerprinted again. Because most of the time, you're paying for the fingerprints. They're on the clock while they're in traffic.
Right.
And they're going to take their time, pick up the clothes from the cleaners, go get lunch, come get the fingerprints, stop by the kids' school before they make it back to you. And you don't know what their process was, because you paid them to go get fingerprinted. So we can help you do that. We can teach you how, if you like notaries. Oh, you guys, this is a great add-on service for your business, because we can teach you how to set up in somebody's conference room, and you can fingerprint all the teachers, all their staff. Seriously.
This is true.
So where that, maybe whatever and I'm even teach you how to set your mobile fees, because some of y'all getting cheated on the mobile fees because you don't know how to set your prices. So we have templates, we have proven systems, we have marketing materials. We show you best practices. We give you industry insights. There are federal certifications that you can do business with the government. We teach you how to do that as well, going through our fingerprinting boot camp, which if you go to onpointalliance.com and click in services, and you'll see a tab that says Empower University. And you can give me a call, and I'll be more than happy to talk to you about the boot camp. But I encourage you, before you call and ask me all the questions that's on the website, go to the website, check it out, form some questions that are not answered there, and then call me. I'll be happy to answer those questions, but it's very detailed and straightforward. Yes, we can teach you how to do that, because it's 2 certifications you can get. One, if you just want to be an ink card fingerprinting technician, or if you want to learn how to do the live scan, we can help you with the equipment and everything. So, and we actually have funding as well, funding options as well. So yeah, if you're interested in a fingerprinting company, y'all finna get y'all taxes. A lot of y'all trying to figure out what you need to do. You're tired of working for somebody. Google right now. Proven. Fingerprints near me. I guarantee you, it's very limited locations near you, and so that's an opportunity for you to make some money. Okay, so onpointalliance.com.
Did my note just stop?
Yeah, child. I know what that was. I heard and then
that's what did it.
What? So go to the website and check out the course, and think about it, because there's money to be made.
It really is.
All right.
A lot of times, people, like I said again, though there is money to be made electronically or with live scan, people leave so much money on the table with those ink cards, y'all, because you got to think about it. Think about how many nurses are in your state that cannot fly to another state. They just need to be certified. Let's say they just need to be certified for the state of California. They need to be certified for the state of California, and they can't fly to California. So that means they need to find somewhere to go to get ink cards done. Yep. Think about how many nurses have to do that. And they scramble with places trying to find a place to go and get. And then a lot of people don't, just be honest, a lot of people don't like going to the police department. Nope. And this climate we're in. A lot of people don't want to go to no sheriff's place. So that'll just give you an idea of how necessary this service is, and people need clearance for all type of things. But though so many times it's like that money is left on the table because people are only thinking about the electronic or the live scan. But if you could challenge yourself, and like I said, even through our university, get that training to know how to be skilled. And I say this boldly because we've been in business 5 years, y'all. We have 6 years, and we have a zero rejection rate. Okay, so you consider people having with there being a 60% rejection rate in fingerprints, period. Okay, which would equal sometimes 2, 3, 4 months, maybe more delay in onboarding, which means that's holding you up from getting your job and getting paid. We have our proven record under 1%, no lie, of a zero rejection rate of having ink cards brought back to us or say that we couldn't capture these because we actually have been trained. We actually know what we're doing. So,
and if y'all go to our website, to our reviews, we've actually had people go to other places 3 and 4 times, and then they come to us. We call those our foster kids. They have to come to us for us to fix them.
Right.
And so Mello said there's 45 minutes from me. The rest are at least 2 to 3 hours away. That's most places. And I bet you if you do some digging, they probably don't do ink cards. And if they do, okay, great. But it's a slim chance they do not do Frank David, FD 258 ink cards. More than likely they don't.
So if that's from you, Mel, 45 minutes away, the rest at least 2 to 3 hours. That's a saturated area for a fingerprint company to be.
You said a saturated area. What do you mean?
Huh?
You said it's a saturated area. Did you mean to say
I don't think I meant to say that. I'm thinking, okay, because what's happening is in my head, I'm thinking something else.
Oh, look, y'all ain't got to. You want to put one there?
I've been thinking something in my head. I was going to say, man,
put one there, right?
What Mello? Where you
in Mexico, Missouri.
Mexico, Missouri.
About an hour from St. And I know for a fact, people in St. Louis City, they have to drive way out in the county. Because we made some phone calls and could not find a place that did ink cards. So we will be it's our plan one day to set up shop in St. Louis, because we know for a fact y'all don't have a lot of places. Colorado don't have a lot of places. New Jersey don't have a lot of places.
And then think about it. Even for them not to be a lot of places.
Louisiana, limited places.
Even if you were one of 2. Yeah. You still got to think about the number of people. One place can't do all of them. Right. So that means another place. This is stuff y'all need to think about. We can show you better than we tell you, but if you just Google it, you can do that yourself. Yep. Google your area and see how far it is. And like, wait a minute, people driving this until there's nobody around. We have people
driving to us 4 hours, 8 hours. One man's finna drive from San Antonio 16 hours because we was the closest place to him. And he read our reviews and he didn't want to take a chance on his fingerprints being bad. So he said he came to us.
This is true.
Yeah.
He said the closest is in Columbia, Missouri. You're proving my point, sir, Mel. You're proving my point.
And this is a low startup cost business.
It really is.
Low startup costs. Low startup costs.
Because people will tell you, it's people out there will tell you, you got to spend, when only the first day of research, they were talking about it's going to take anywhere from 10 to 20.
No, baby, 20 to 30,000
to
is what they
$30,000.
yes.
And all either was like, Lord, either you got somebody going to bless us with this money or
Yep.
you got another way. And trust me, that was another way. We didn't touch even a percent of what they talked about. Not a percent. Okay. So
it was lunch money.
Bro, Mel, you help improve my point. Do it yourself where you are. Google where it is. And when you Google it and you see how far distance these places are, now you see the need for these particular services.
And people in your town, them little small areas, guess what y'all love? Boop, boop. Guns.
And not everybody trying to be illegal with them. People really want to do it, do stuff the right way.
Yes.
So my point is, guys, it's a very, very lucrative industry to get into. Very lucrative business. Low cost.
It does take
to
strategy.
Get started. It does take strategy.
That we can share you a proven recipe.
Yes. And again, go to onpointalliance.com. Matter of fact, don't do that. Just Google On Point Alliance. Click our reviews. I have people on there who've given testimony. They went to one lady 3 different places.
Form in there too.
3 different places. Can I go right to it?
Yep. It's a not the little bitty drawer right there. It's should be it's a poem or something. Like probably like the second or third folder. Travis bottom drawer.
Come on, break your time, so you got me stopping.
It's like the first or second folder. It's a poem.
Oh, here it is.
Yep.
Well,
we had somebody literally come get a service, and we asked her to do a review. Y'all, why the lady write a whole poem? I'm gonna have Travis read it.
Mello said, you don't need to be fingerprinted for guns here anymore. Our fund laws are very lax.
Well, certain things. What about y'all gun trust?
It's different. And there are places.
Yeah, in some places the laws are different, but look into there are different reasons. Not necessarily you need a license to own the gun, but what if you're trying to add a suppressor? Or are you trying to do certain things that are federal rules, right? So just look into it, because again, each place can be different, but there are some instances where ATF file is required. That's a whole nother type of fingerprint.
Right.
So it's different reasons.
To my point, there was a lady who had went to 3 different places, and she brought us three rejection letters from 3 different places. And she said to us that she went to Carrollton Police Department, and the guy some officer there told her, if you want your prints done right, go to On Point Alliance. I don't know who the officer is, but I thank you. If you want your prints done right, go to On Point Alliance. The woman came to me, like I told her, I said, I cannot, nor should any technician guarantee you fingerprints, guarantee you approve of fingerprints. We can't do it. Nobody should. What I can guarantee you is that we guarantee our work. Okay. We guarantee our work is what I said to her. And so I said, now I'm going to do your prints. The only thing I ask of you is when these prints go through, because I believe they will, when they go through, you go on my page, do a review for us, and you tell everybody. If you go to Google On Point Alliance, our reviews, it's a lot of them, y'all. But if you scroll through it, she's on there, and she gives her testimony about how she went to 3 different places, got rejected 3 times, came to On Point Alliance 1 time, and we got her done and got her approved. So we take pride in that. But my thing is, here's an opportunity too for you getting into a service like this. Because let me say this, let me stick this pen in here. If y'all think about it, the reason why we brought, like Arlita said, there's a strategy to this thing as well. Some people don't believe good customer service skills can be taught. I disagree. I believe good customer service skills can be taught, okay? A lot of times people when you go to school for all these years, you get these degrees, you get these letters added behind your name, you're getting promoted, all these different kind of things you're excited about. The one thing that will prevent you from being able to utilize every degree that you have, the promotion that you receive, is this one process of getting your fingerprints done.
Yep.
And that process has been dumbed down and mistreated for so long. You all excited, and you go to this old rundown shack like Mel went to, some old strip joint.
Probably is a strip joint that got a fingerprint.
They do that too, y'all. Trust and believe.
A pet shop sell goldfish.
I had a lady say she went to they fingerprinted her in a Taco Bell outside of the restroom door. Is where they had the machine. So we had all kind of,
which we ain't knocking people who got to get their hustle on, and that they provide mobile services. We ain't knocking them,
but it plays a big part in our business when people come to our place. And if you go to our website, you'll see it. We have a nice place. It ain't cheap. We tell people that. I used to go to the police department. They do it for free. They charge me $5. Wife said, yeah, police department have budgets. We have bills.
There you go.
So we're premium level. We understand that our prices don't fit everybody's budget. We'll tell you that in a minute. If you think our prices are too expensive, then you feel free to find somewhere else. But we've had people do that, and they've also come back and given reviews and saying that it was worth them coming. It was worth the price. So it's still what you actually do with that company. Say you decide to start one, but it's very lucrative.
Let me explain why I have y'all attention. Some of these places, like the police department, again, they have budgets. We have bills. We have people we have to pay hourly. These technicians have to be trained. It costs money to run a business. From the moment you step in the door, it costs us. From the moment you schedule an appointment, it costs us. Okay. That's the difference, where we have to provide good customer service, because we don't have billions of dollars just being handed to us because of who we are. And we can just do it, treat you any kind of way. We literally have to earn your business. So if you are on Google and you find a place that's doing it $10, I say stop looking and go there.
Right.
Don't see $10, look at the place and it look like it's gonna cost $10. Then you look at our website, our reviews, and then call us and ask us why we not charging $10.
Right.
I would think logically that you just can look at things and tell this is more expensive than this one, right? So you don't go on Craigslist, look for a Mazda, and call
the Mazda dealership.
Why y'all not selling me a Mazda for $1,500?
This is true.
You don't do that. You go on Craigslist, you see the price you want, stop looking and just buy that one. Because it's kind of crazy to me, and I don't understand. I wouldn't keep looking when I found the price I'm looking for. And then I expect another place, a whole different company, prices. It's not apples to apples.
It's not.
Right? It's not apples to apples. So there's a difference. Okay? So I just want to encourage you, when you find your price you're looking for, stop looking. Don't call around and be disrespectful, because it's a little disrespectful. I'm just going to say that when you call and tell us what we should charge and how we should, when you don't know what's required for us to run our business. Exactly. Our rent, we got premium level rent.
Talk.
Okay. Our rent ain't cheap. We don't use cheap supplies. This one ink pad, $7. We don't buy the $2.38 ink.
That stay with you all day, even after you leave us.
Yeah, look like you changed a motor.
Right.
This one thing is $7. Actually, so it's going to be almost $10 when I get done, because I got to pay for shipping. But guess what? This ink don't smudge. This ink dries immediately. This ink, gonna give us the clearest impressions. Okay, so I can't charge you $10 when the ink I use is $10. That ain't
Exactly.
all the other expenses. That's not the refreshments when you come in my office. That's not the security system that we use to protect your information when you schedule with us. I gotta pay monthly for these things, right? So I just want to give a little insight because I know a lot of y'all business owners don't understand business, right? And understand that you can't compare a mom and pop shop to Walmart. Okay, so I'm gonna get off of that because I don't want to beat the horse. I just wanted to get some insight.
Especially now, let me get my little bit.
Go
Especially when, now I promise I ain't gonna send about no roaches.
Yeah, you better not.
Listen, especially when you get better treatment from the mom and pop shop than you would that larger place. Okay.
Yeah.
Who's not gonna put, because they big and know everybody gonna come to them, they ain't really studying you like some, I ain't gonna say names, said already, like some places where they don't even require their people. It used to be a lie where the employees have to speak to a guest every so many feet that a guest walk up.
Yeah.
These folks don't be studying us in them stores. They don't look at us. They don't say nothing to us. Matter of fact, they're in there running when we walk by.
They don't have to earn your
business. They don't have to earn it.
We have to earn your
we
business.
have to earn it. And that's what we're doing. So we're proud of our 640 something, I think 44, 105-star review, trying to make 1,000 by June. Right?
Yep.
And that's the goal. Yep. And I believe we'll do it. And we're doing it because of good old-fashioned, good customer service that is an endangered species and is almost on its way out with the dinosaurs. Mm-hmm. It's almost like people don't know what good customer service is no more. You get a whole attitude just for asking for condiments, for buying a sandwich from the place that they work at that you pay for them to work.
Yeah, I know he's sensitive about the ketchup situation.
All right. Now, I'm going to go ahead and read, as we get ready to wrap up here. This is one of a poem that one of our, y'all can see it on it. But anyway, this is a poem that one of our clients put on our website. You can find it there, but it's called The Fingerprint Connection. And I'm gonna read this.
Look at the fingerprint. You better read that poem. That poem.
All right, here we go.
You want me to get my harmonica?
I don't. Here we go. She said, the task set before me was to get fingerprinting done. So I went to Google and looked for the closest and best one, just like you guys would do. On Point Alliance caught my eye. Their rating was pretty high. Google Maps got me there. As I approached the area, I couldn't help but stare. The area was well appointed and pristine, like that. When I walked through the front door of the main building, it was inviting and extremely clean. The receptionist greeted me with professional urgency and a smile. Don't need no help, Mello. Don't help your sister. I hadn't experienced that level of customer service in a while. Her name was Elizabeth. She was perfect for the position and complimented the set. Thanks, Elizabeth. She asked if I had an appointment. I told her no, with a slight bit of disappointment, but she phoned On Point Alliance to see if they could take a walk-in. To my surprise, it was a win-win. The receptionist asked me to take a seat. I did, and my eyes canvassed the cafe area, which was well-maintained and very neat. Arletha,
that's me,
from On Point Alliance, came out to meet me. Excuse me. By the way she carried herself and spoke to me, I sensed she was a woman of character and integrity.
And I am.
She was able to process my fingerprints, but I had to come back at 4:30. I was coming back. No worries. I came back. Guess what? I was in for a snack. Arletha had a recently certified team member to perform the task. It was fun, and I had a blast. You could tell that Arletha took pride in her work and instilled that in her employees. The respect was mutual because the team member who processed my prints had no problem asking her questions and submitting to her suggestions with ease. To say that I just got fingerprints done at On Point Alliance is not the full story. When I left that business, I realized divine appointments are orchestrated by God in our activities of daily living, and God always gets the glory. I met a man and woman of God who took the time to pray with me and tell me the truth in love. This display of compassion and infusion of God's word can only come from a true relationship with the Son of God who dwells at the right hand of the Father in heaven above. This encounter caused me to do some self-introspection because I believe God's purpose for me that day was to make the fingerprint connection.
Wow. I haven't heard
Ain't
it.
that wonderful?
Ain't it wonderful? Listen, it's one thing to get a bunch of reviews.
She talking about us.
It's another thing. Somebody take the time to write a whole poem about you, and it was so beautiful. And she's right. It turned into like we had a counseling session. She was, she allowed us to be open. Now we don't, we're just who we are. But because we believe in creating an experience for our clients, that's what and this is just one of many. She don't want now the reviews, all of them sound like poems, but this was literally a poem. Right. I'm getting this blew up on the board. She gave me permission to do so anyway, I hope we said something tonight that brought some clarities when y'all calling around trying to get fingerprinted. You don't know which one to get, or you don't understand why the technician is not telling you something. It's because it's not cut and dry. You do need to ask those questions from your requesting agency, meaning whoever is telling you to get fingerprinted, ask specific questions. Do I need an ink card or electronic? If they say ink card, okay, go ahead and schedule with us. If they say live scan, your next question is there a code?
Right.
It's not always there's a code involved, but ask. If they say yes, automatically you got to go to a particular place. So then you ask them, where am I supposed to go? They should give the information to who has access to submit those fingerprints.
Right.
If they say nope, it's not a code, okay, it's more than likely that's a federal level background check. So then you ask them, okay, once I get my fingerprints done, where do I send the report? Because their report is going to come back to you. They don't send those reports anywhere. The FBI doesn't. They only send it to you. And you have to give them permission and sign a form to even send it to your lawyer.
Right.
Like you can't just automatically say, okay, I want it to go here. You have to, there's a process to get that released to somebody else. And it's got to be your lawyer, because that's the only person they'll release it to, okay, other than you. So there's questions to ask, and make sure you have proper documentation, please. That would no, we're not trying to be mean. We're governed by the FBI. We have to follow their rules on their list. And on our website, we have the link that you can go and see, if you don't have those primary items, to see secondary forms of identification. So, and on our website, we even ask you to upload the document so you don't have a surprise, because we prepare today for tomorrow. So that way we see if it's something that may not be acceptable, we can call you. But if you say, yes, I got everything I need, get to us, you didn't upload the documents, you show us some foreign document, we can't accept it. You got to schedule a new appointment at standard rate, because that time was taken and we already processed you the day before. So it's not just being mean or trying to take your money or anything like that. This is a whole process, and then we have a real business. That's why you have to come to us, because you got a real reason you had to come. And they only want you to go to a certified, replicable business. So just think about that for a second. So there's going to be rules, right? So hopefully this helped you guys when it's your turn to get fingerprinted. If you're looking for a business to go into, consider a fingerprinting business. Check out our website, onpointalliance.com. Click Empower University to see how the program works. And if you have any questions about the program, give us a call. Our contact number is there as well.
Don't forget, guys, to like, share, and subscribe. Those who have liked and shared on tonight. We appreciate that. Those who haven't, do so on our YouTube page. Make sure you go there and hit the bell so you get notifications when we are live. Okay. And outside of that, we appreciate you guys for joining in with us on tonight. And as always, we will encourage you guys to mind your business. Have a good night, guys. And we will talk to you